So we're currently located in the 1700 section of the dairy, so what is now the bookshop, but essentially upstairs from the top of the dairy, we're in the end room here. What we're currently looking at in this little section is about witch marks, or what I'm going to call protection marks. So a lot of the times when you go to properties or you'll look online, a lot of the times these markings that we see in older properties are called witch marks. The thing with that, and the sort of dispute with that is that only means you're protecting against witches, and there's lots of other evil that you want to be protecting against. So what I would prefer to kind of coin them as, and a lot of other people, when you start reading into it, is protection marks. And that opens up then for a vast amount of what you're protecting against and various bits like that. The current ones that we're looking at the moment are essentially taper burn marks. So around the door itself, sometimes you'll find these around doors or potentially windows. It tends to be more so doors. And the idea is that you're going to be protecting that door from any evil getting in, and that's the kind of key thing with it. Now, the burns themselves are very intentional. You can even see on a lot of these taper burn marks that have burnt them on, they actually scrape them back and then continue to burn, so that you do get this really deep, where I can even put my finger into it, you get a very, very deep, specific burn, obviously with this kind of teardrop kind of shape to it. And you'll see that around the whole of this door in this section. Back then, we know this is a Catholic property. As a Catholic myself as well, we still do kind of protection things to our houses. Obviously, that could be with holy water. You'll even see it in the Church of England, the Anglican Church. You'll see, especially High Church of England, if you go to Lichfield Cathedral, if you go and you walk past the Bishop's house, you'll see above the door, the same with my house, the same with Catholic churches, you'll see the Epiphany mark, or the Epiphany blessing, and that basically itself is the current year. It's it'll have a cross or crucifix, and it's the first letters to the three kings, and that basically is a protection mark. One, it protects it, but also blesses the house, or it blesses the building. So whoever's coming in, it's actually a blessing as well. So once again, you'll see in kind of this day and age, people are still doing that for religious specific purposes, and it's the same as this in some senses, but yeah, it's just a different kind of marking. What we'll head through now is we're going to head through into the next kind of section, and we'll look at essentially what's they're referred to as Marian marks. And once again, it's Marian marks being Our Lady, our Blessed Lady, the Virgin Mary, and you'll see the ones that we've got there, and the specific types of that. But once again, this is very much relating to Catholicism. Obviously, with this property in particular, that's why they're using those symbols to do with Mary.
When would you say that these were actually done then? Were they done when the house was built, or sometime afterwards?
So it's very difficult to say, but you would tend to expect this would be done very early on in a property. Say, for example, if I'm going to be buying my first home, I'm going to have a chat with my local priest and say, can you come and bless the house for me? That's something as a practice in Catholicism, that you do very early on in a property. Same if you were building a property. If I was building a property, you do very similar. The thing with that is as well, is where we're currently located now is 1700. The section we're going to look at now is the 1595 section, and this one itself is actually on the exterior wall. So it's interesting that it's on that exterior. So yeah, it's one of those.
So we're looking at the exterior wall of the second bay here, aren't we?
Yes, this is the end wall of the 1595 section, and at the very top of that timber, we can see what essentially looks like a V and a W. As we're saying with Marian marks themselves, you'll sometimes see just crisscrosses over each other, creating V's. Now, those V's, I'm not very good with my Latin, so I'm going to go to my crypt sheet, is Virgo Virginium, which is basically Virgin of Virgins, so the Virgin Mary. So yeah, once again, you've got that going on. The one that we're looking at now is more interpreted with a V and an M sometimes, so it looks like an upside down W, and that's Ave Maria. So it's once again, it's the kind of Latin coming in there with it. But yeah, it's just asking for that protection of Our Lady and for the property itself.
So then we step into this area, don't we? Through actually walking through the second bay, effectively.
Yes, so we're now going through into the next door, which is nearer to the house, over to that that front entrance itself. And if we turn ourselves on the door, once again you can see just here the exact same symbol used, and that's, once again, it's very near a door, isn't it? It's near that door, so it's that passing space potentially. But it's hard to kind of, without going back in time and speaking to people, there'll always be hearsay throughout with various people and various historians on it. But you can understand where that's kind of coming from in a very simple sense, of them being Catholic markings for protection.